Election season heating up across the country today, particularly in Texas, where Republican voters will decide a U.S. Senate primary runoff between the Trump-backed Attorney General Ken Paxton, who has faced indictments for alleged corruption, and the four-term incumbent John Cornyn. Neither campaign held any events yesterday, instead focusing on ads in a race where a whopping $135 million has already been spent. Meanwhile, early voting begins today in South Carolina's primaries, even as state lawmakers continue to debate a proposed congressional redistricting map that could reshape the Palmetto State's political landscape. If approved, the plan would redraw the state's congressional districts, delaying the House primary races until August 18th, and forcing some voters to cast a second ballot, as the South Carolina Election Commission would disregard votes under the old district lines. We've got reporters on the ground covering all of this for us. Joining us now from Plano, Texas, is MS Now White House reporter Jake Traylor. From Bee Cave, Texas, MS Now national reporter Rosa Flores. And from Columbia, South Carolina, MS Now reporter Alex Tabbitt. Great to have you all with us. We will start in Texas. Jake, let's begin with you. What can we expect today, in particularly on how President Trump's influence is playing a part in the race? Some speculation that he wasn't putting his thumb on the scales necessarily to force Paxton across the finish line, but because he thought Paxton was going to win anyway.
Yeah, Jonathan, let me set the stage here for a statewide race that has huge national implications. This is a Texas-sized test for President Trump's endorsement. That's because he, in the 11th hour, endorsed Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, who, as you said there, is frankly a really embattled candidate. This is someone who was impeached by a Texas House of Representatives. This is someone who is facing adultery allegations amid an ongoing divorce. But he backed Paxton over four-term incumbent John Cornyn, someone who, on his campaign website, touts an image of him and Trump and says that he has a 99.2% voting record alongside Donald Trump. But that loyalty was not enough. I was speaking with a couple of White House officials about the thinking behind Trump's endorsement of Paxton, and they said that it was a clear signaled message to Senate Republicans who are not capitulating enough for and getting the congressional deals done that Trump wants done in real time. This is a quote from a White House official that I spoke to about this, who said that Trump's backing Paxton was an intentional FU to a stalled Republican Senate. They went on to say that Senate Republicans didn't do anything with the filibuster. They're doing nothing with the SAVE Act. They are a problem every step of the way. And I think that Trump just finally had enough. This is a White House official familiar with Trump's thinking. Here on the ground today, though, Jonathan, as we speak with folks so far, those that are supporting Paxton have a slew of different reasons. They say they want fresh blood in the Senate. They align with his conservative record as the Texas Attorney General for years. But as we engage a little more in these conversations, what we're actually getting, the through line here for why people today are supporting Paxton, is simply because Trump said so.
All right, let's now turn to Rosa Flores in the delightfully named Bee Cave, Texas. Rosa, what might the winner of this runoff face when it comes to then taking on Democrat James Tallarico? And Texas has long eluded the grasp of Democrats, but this is the best they've felt about that state in a long time.
You know, you're absolutely right. I mean, this really appears to be the best chance the Democrats have at getting this seat since 2018, when Beto O'Rourke lost to Ted Cruz. I want you to look at this poll because this is the latest that we know. And this poll really, I think, tells the story. Regardless of who's at the top of the ticket on the Republican side, it's tied with James Tallarico. And if you look closely, Cornyn has about a 1-point advantage, but all of this is within the margin of error, so it really doesn't matter. And I want you to look at this other data point, which is not good for Cornyn, and that is the early voting numbers here in Texas. We pulled both the state-wide number and also the number for Travis County. They both show a dip in early voting from the primary in March. And here's why it matters, because Cornyn really needs that number to inflate, to be big, to be huge, Texas size, because he needs the moderate Republicans. He needs the independents to come out and vote. I can tell you from what we've seen right now, it's been, I'm going to use a very technical term, a trickle. There's been very few turnout, very few people out here voting today. So not a good sign for Cornyn. Back to you.
No, I would think not. All right, let's now turn our eyes east to Alex Tabbitt in Columbia, South Carolina, where voters have been steadily arriving to the polls this morning. Alex, tell us what you're seeing and hearing from voters against the backdrop of a potential redistricting that, frankly, might make them have to go again.
Well, Jonathan, we're seeing an absolute surge. Take a look at this polling location. This is the front of the line, and come with me as I show you how this line wraps all the way around this voting location. We're seeing hundreds of people, both at this location and at a couple of others around the city and across the state. And the reason why it's so busy here right now, Jonathan, is because Democrats and activists aligned with Democrats have a plan. They know that the state legislature is trying to redistrict. And what they are telling their voters, what they're telling their constituents is the more votes that we can get before this new congressional map is finalized, the weaker the legal argument will be to allow this new congressional map to stand. That's why you're seeing what you're seeing right now. That's why you're seeing hundreds of people in line. Now, Jonathan, I want to introduce you to one of these people in line, Ashley. Ashley, really quickly, why is it so important for you to be here today?
It's important for me to be here, one, because it's my civic responsibility to be here, but also to honor those from the past who fought and died for this right to vote. We know that 60 to 65 years ago, a black vote wasn't even possible. So for me to be here and stand in this line and cast my vote is my responsibility, not just to myself, but also to posterity, to ensure that they have the right to vote in their due time.
Ashley, thank you so much for your time. And Jonathan, this newly proposed map from Republicans here in the state of South Carolina has explicitly been aimed at ousting Democratic stalwart Jim Clyburn, who's been in the halls of Congress since 1993. Jonathan.
Really good reporting there and a terrific tracking shot on the voter lines. We appreciate it. MS Now's Alex Tabbitt in South Carolina, Rosa Flores and Jake Traylor in Texas. Our thanks to all of you.